Welcome to everybody to our first video podcast. We have the pleasure to have with us a couple of friends. First of all, I have the pleasure to welcome Nicole Schmitt, Project Manager of Bauma, Luca Nutarelli from Rome, Secretary General of UNACEA, the Italian Construction Equipment Association, that will be interviewed by Mathieu Colombo, Costruzioni magazine editor. For our new project, Italy at Bauma. Italy Bauma is a digital community focused on technologies made in Italy for the building and construction industries. The purpose of this project is to keep the community updated with weekly news on the latest trends and market solution and the newest products available on the market. All the contents are available on our social networks and also on our digital hub, italyatbauma.com. This platform extends the Bauma experience year-round and brings you selected items and selected Italian partners for technologies and solutions for the building and construction industries. This is a space to get together and connect, improving and simplifying the international exchange among professionals. Thank you very much and enjoy the interview and enjoyed also the navigation on our platform. Thank you very much.
Welcome to this interview with Bauma Exhibition Director, Mrs. Nicole Schmitt. And the first question, is the Bauma 2022 will be a record edition, and what are the most impressive numbers on the show?
Well, honestly speaking, Bauma 22, because of the circumstances which we all have for the last years, and now also with Ukraine, will not be a record edition. So there will not be bigger numbers in terms of exhibitors like in 2019. Nevertheless, due to the range of key players which will be present and technologies shown, it will undoubtedly be the place and the industry platform, again, where everybody should be and should gather. For the numbers, let me give you a short and brief overview. We have 640,000 square meters, which equals 86 soccer fields. That's something I guess people can, imagine better. We will have more than 3,100 exhibitors from 60 countries, so on the international side. And looking at what you see behind me is actually 2016, the outdoor ground of Bauma, but for 2022, we will have 32 cranes in the outdoor area, which we call like the crane forest.
Okay. And about sustainability, a report published by United Nations Environment Programme attributes 38% of CO2 emission to the construction sector in the world. From this point of view, it's understandable why electrification and alternative fuels will be a main theme at Bauma. What are the other trends for the net zero transition that you have observed?
Thank you for this question, Mathieu. That's really relevant for the entire industry. Looking at Bauma 22, you will probably experience quite a few technology in regards of electric drives. So not only the electrical machines, but also in terms of telematics, stuff like that. What we also observe in Bauma 22 is the question of how can we reduce concrete, for instance, like 3D printing can reduce the amount of concrete which is used to build a house, for instance. There will be two 3D printers at Bauma also, which you can then experience. So more attention is being paid to sustainability in the construction area. Hydrogen is also one of the big topics. So we will also experience the topic of hydrogen within Bauma 22.
Okay. And I think also many manufacturers spoke about HVO compatibility for the diesel engine machine.
Absolutely.
And, it's a fast transition to less emission, no?
Yes, it is a fast transmission, but it's a very, very big topic. Companies are not in a position to, you know, go like this and change from diesel to H2O. But many of the exhibitors are, their R&D departments are working on it. And I'm quite sure that we will have one or the other hydrogen machine also here on site.
Okay. And
people still keep it with, well, what to say? They will not tell us everything about what they will be exhibiting at Bauma 22 for the time being. So they still keep their secrets, some of them, of the exhibitors.
Yeah, we will see. What choice has made Bauma to be more sustainable?
Well, I mean, as you just said, the machinery, construction machinery industry needs to find, you know, quickly answers to raw material usage, supply chains, which get fragile for now, for instance. So what they do is they try on their side to push this topic. And we, from our side as Bauma or Messe München overall, there's quite a few things which we did. Is like our construction partner, or it's a daughter company of us, they have sustainable booths which they offer. We have like our caterers, which only supplies like food in sustainable manners from the region and so on. We have the so-called Go Green ticket, which gives visitors the opportunity to offset their CO2 footprint at the exhibition, which is also used by our exhibitors when they invite their clients. So there's these so-called vouchers, which the exhibitor can order. And they can also order these so-called Go Green tickets, which they really do, and they pass it on to their clients. Furthermore, I mean, Messe München also contributes with quite a few topics in this field, like trees on the exhibition ground compensating CO2 emission, green hall roofs, which is 71,000 square meters, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. We have one of the world's largest photovoltaic roof systems at Messe München GmbH here in Munich. We have more than 200,000 square meters of green area and heat with geothermal energy. So there's quite a few things Messe München also does to be more sustainable within this big trade fair business.
Yeah, thank you. And from my point of view, the pandemic has increased the Bauma's leadership position in EMEA region. And this time some major manufacturers are absent, but the fair continues to grow. What is your opinion on this? How do you see the future of the show?
Well, as said at the beginning, growing is also a question, or is always a question on, is it growing in size, is it growing in numbers, or is it growing in relevance? So I think growth for Bauma 2022 will more be in hitting the right topics, looking into the future of the industry instead of having bigger numbers. Nevertheless, although, as you mentioned, there's a few big exhibitors or OEMs which will not be present, they all have their reason, which is supply chain, which is the pandemic, which is also hard time in these days. But it's still, how to say it the best way, it will be the leading platform, let's say it that way. Bauma will be the leading platform, not only for EMEA, but also worldwide. And we are experiencing for now also a very, very good number of international visitors in the registration, although I cannot say any details for the time being as we're still too far from the show. But it looks good. So we're happy that Bauma will be again the place to be in October here in Munich.
Okay, thank you. In our sector, in Europe, I think we don't have many young people, many new generation attracted by the construction field. In the past, Bauma work on that with special program for students. So in 2022, we will see something like this.
Yes, Think Big will also be held during Bauma 22 in the ICM. This is a partnership program together with our German association BDMA. And again, here, companies like Habe, like Liebherr, like Zeppelin, they will give, let's say, the students a good outlook why they should enter the industry. I think one of the biggest goals is to make sure that people outside of the industry get the impression that the construction industry is not only, you know, being on a construction site and getting dirty hands. There's so much new ways of setting up a construction site, and that people will be on remote working with the machines. They get more intelligent from day to day. That's my feeling. So yes, we will have this program. We're happy to again have roundabout, I think it was 11,000 students last time. I'm not quite sure, honestly, but roundabout that area will be also for Bauma 22. And the exhibitors are really excited on this topic.
Okay, and about the exhibitor, the bigger stand, the bigger space in the fair. What is the record stand?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the direct figures, but the record stand is Liebherr again. They will come with the same building as they had in 2019.
Okay.
It's already almost fully erected. So when you look at the Bauma webcam at the moment, you will see so much going on in the outside area again already. Sometimes I'm a little bit sad that our halls have roofs, because sometimes I feel if the halls did not have roofs, we could also see into the halls and look what's going on there, because they're as relevant as the outside area with the big machines. Okay,
and I remember the selfie tower in the next edition. It's confirmed?
It's not confirmed for 2022.
Okay.
There's also on our side, we have to see and keep everything a little bit simple. So the selfie tower was a one-time show, let's say it that way. We had the opportunity in 2019, and there will not be a selfie tower in 2022, unfortunately. Sorry.
Okay. And thank you very much for your time in this busy moment.
No, it was nice having me. But let me, I know that you might not have this question in mind. There's one topic which I would love to address, and this is our new hall, which is called Lab Zero. It's not a hall, but it's situated in the ICM. And I think this is a must-visit place because for the first time we have a big startup area. So you will see the young wild companies with their innovations. We will have the forum inside. We will have Monacofiere 4.0, which is also very interesting. So altogether, I would just like to emphasize on this hall, Lab Zero, which is in ICM. And sorry for interrupting you, but this was just, it had to come out.
No. Thank you. And now I have a question for the Monacofiere Managing Director, Davide Galli. And the question are, historically, there are always many Italian exhibitors at Bauma, and will be like this in the future. Which nation are most represented by exhibitor at fair today?
Well, thank you. As far as the Italian participation is concerned, so I have quite good experience. It is for me the 11th Bauma in my life with the Messe Munich, and so we experience a constantly increasing of figures in terms of square meter, in terms of exhibitors. This edition will be a record exhibition for Italian companies because altogether, considering also co-exhibitors, we have almost 600 brands and Italian company present at Bauma 22. Well, forecast what will be in the future is of course is quite difficult, but as long as Bauma will be the place to be, I presume there will be a consistent Italian presence there. Italian companies are now facing a new problem, a traditional one and the new one. The traditional one is let's say the average size of Italian company that expose many companies to merging and acquisition and to be takeover from international group, what's constantly happens. But nevertheless, we have been able to increase the figures of company present at Bauma till now. The second challenge is in the next month will be the energy cost, I presume. That can of course change the scenario, but at the end, I think the Italian presence, due to the tradition, Italy in the mechanical construction industries, in the engineering from construction and building machinery, will be consistent and relevant, of course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to this interview with UNACEA Secretary General Luca Nutarelli. And Luca, can you briefly introduce us your association?
Yes, of course. UNACEA is the Italian Association of Construction Equipment. We are part of CISI, the European Federation of the sector. We have around 80 members company, and we will be, of course, at Bauma.
Thank you. Thanks to the pandemic and its timing, Bauma has raised its leading position, and this is confirmed the most important trade in the fair, in the construction sector in the EMEA region, and not only. How important is the event for Italian companies? How important is the value of Italian export in the EMEA region to the entire sector?
Yes, expectations for Bauma are huge. It's an occasion to make an experiment and confronting our industrial world before and after the pandemic, because Bauma, the last Bauma was just before. What will be important to see are not only dimensions, number of visitors, square meters, but also technologies and marketing scenarios. The last UNACEA update on international trade registered worldwide for the first half of 2022 a plus 7.1% of Italian export on the previous year. In absolute numbers, it means 1.5 billion euros of Italian construction machinery sold around the world. The most important area for our exports is Western Europe, with 713 million euros of construction machinery. It means more than 47% of the whole product sold around the world. Those numbers explain our big expectations for Bauma.
Luca, is the Italian supply chain one of the leading players in electrification and net zero transition process? What do you think about this?
Yes, the reduction of emissions is an important challenge for Italian construction and machinery industry, and electrification is a part of this strategy. With the new stage 5 machines, in the last 20 years, the reduction of atmospheric pollutants as oxides of nitrogens and particulate matter was of 96 and 97%. In this process, electric machines can give an important contribution, especially in the utility sector. But there is not a single easy solution to improve air quality. As UNACEA, we support an holistic approach, which considers the machines as a whole. We can reduce the impact of environment, improving all its parts, not just concentrating our attention in a single point.
Our market is supercharged. The Italian market are supercharged by Industry 4.0 program and by construction incentive, like 110% incentive. And these incentives seem to be confirmed until the end of 2024. Despite the increase of the price of raw material and the lack of components, it's a golden period for the manufacturer, Italian distributor, dealers, and rental company. According to UNACEA, it's a market slowdown to be expected, or what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I would not say that the market is already doped, because the number of machines sold are proportional with the volume of work sites, at least until now. The Italian market in the first half of 2022 registered a plus 25. But now, of course, the market is decreasing. We expect to close the year around 2 digits. The scenario for the 2023 is more complicated because it's very uncertain. It depends from geopolitical variables, and those variables, as everybody can understand, are very difficult to quantify.
And Luca, one last question. The trade in connected machine, it's also a method for monitorize the productivity of company and to fight the illegal work. It's like a car registration. It's like a black box on the car. Do you think it would be desirable to make the trade connected machine and related equipment mandatory in Italy?
Yes, that's an interesting question, because what we have proposed since 2010 was a mandatory directory where owners could register their fleets of machines, and public authorities could check if requirements of conformity are respected. Such an instrument could be useful even to check locally the obsolescence of machines, and to implement a chirurgical renewal action. This directory is very easy to realize, especially today with new tools we have online, and can include both connected and not connected machines. So I think that today it's the time to make this improvement.
Yeah,
Ciao,
see you
Nicole.
at
Bye.
Bauma.
See you at Bauma.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everybody. See you at
See you at
Bauma.
Bauma.
Thank you.